And we're back. Yes, the international break is over and domestic football is awoken from its slumber. And what better way to kick things off than a trip to the Emirates where Arsenal host Forest in a battle of ambition versus reality. Arsenal want to be title chasers. Forest simply want to be anything but bottom chasers. That's a context though. For now, let's bring you up to speed on everything you need to know ahead of this one. The Daily Lens, your number one source for the most important news. Okay, so it's been a while since we've seen the Premier League, but it feels like only yesterday that Arsenal were slumping to a 1-0 defeat at Everton. That was their second dropped points of the season, coming on the back of a North London derby loss to Tottenham. Suddenly questions were being asked of this Arsenal side. Was this finally the year that their lack of squad depth would catch up with them? Or was this just another blip before they went on to win the league? Well, today's game is their chance to prove it was indeed just a blip. Don't get me wrong, the title race is still wide open. City dropped points at home to RB Leipzig in midweek, and United lost in the Europa League. But while the title picture may be rosy for the Gunners right now, that won't be the case for long. After this, they face West Ham, then Liverpool, then City. And if they don't pick up maximum points, they'll quickly find themselves needing a response. And that's why today is so important. The other side chasing 3 points here are Forest. They come into this off the back of a 2-1 win over Leeds in Steve Cooper's 100th game in charge. But while that was an important 3 points, it was the manner of the performance that really caught the eye. Forest were on the front foot throughout and could have easily won by more. So how much of that performance will we see today? Well, if you want to be sure of seeing a high-tempo pressing game with plenty of forward intent, then you'll want to keep an eye on these two. Firstly, on the Forest side, we have Gibbs-White. He came through the ranks at Liverpool before shining on loan at Sheffield United last season. He's the creative spark in this Forest team, and if he can find his best form, then the Reds could surprise a few teams this year. Secondly, we have Taiwo Awoniyi. He spent last season on loan at Forest from Liverpool and was the club's top scorer with 10 goals. He has pace in abundance and will cause any defense problems if given half a chance. Can Arsenal's young and inexperienced defense cope with the physicality of the Nigerian striker? That could be a key battle today. So those are the players to watch. But what about the managers? Well, it's hard not to feel sorry for Mikel Arteta, isn't it? He's taken Arsenal as far as he possibly can so far, achieving a top 4 finish and winning the FA Cup. Naturally, the next step was to go one better and win the league. But even he would admit that this Arsenal team isn't quite ready yet. They need more experience, more know-how at the highest level. And with rivals strengthening, he knew that this season was going to be tough. But injuries and a lack of squad depth mean that the North Londoners are already playing catch-up. And he needs a response from his players today, or else the early part of this season could define their year. As for Forest, well, this is the start of a new era. After a decade in the Championship, they finally climbed back to the top flight via the playoffs last season. And to help guide them in their first season back, they turned to Ange Postecoglou. Now, many will say that he was a surprise appointment. After all, he was linked with the likes of Tottenham, Chelsea, and Manchester United. How could Forest tempt him into the City ground? Well, perhaps the project was too good to turn down. Forest have ambitious plans both on and off the pitch. And with backing from owners, Torali, Poyet has been given a big task to get Forest playing attractive football that gets the fans off their seats. But more importantly, he's been tasked with keeping them in the top flight. Of course, he'd have liked more time to implement his ideas. But with the transfer window slamming shut on Friday, he's had little time to get to work. Still, this is a manager that has won 4 trophies in the last 5 years and knows what it takes to succeed. If anyone can take Forest to new heights, it's probably the man they call the Aussie. Now, there's plenty of other games to look forward to today. We have the Manchester Derby between City and United, which promises to be a cracker. But if you're looking for goals, look no further than Villa Park, where Aston Villa take on Everton. Also, there's plenty of other games to look forward to. Basically, it's a full slate of fixtures, and football fans around the world can look forward to another exciting day of Premier League football. Well, folks, the wait is over. Football is back, and with it, the beautiful games return. More importantly, it's the return of the Daily Lens. Subscribe for your daily dose of clarity in these complex times.